Hello there again, everybody. This is going to be my second installment in the Manatraders Series. Currently 4-0, and the goal is to go 7-3 or better within the first 10 matches to qualify. If I don't qualify within the first 10 matches, I'll just continue the series until I do qualify. So, I mean, hopefully I can do it within the first 10. We're on a pretty good streak so far, so it's looking likely. But let's see if we can continue the streak and get there in the first 10. I'll do another quick snapshot of the metagame since this recording is about a day and a half after the first, and we actually have seen some pretty significant shifting. Noticeably in Jund, the deck that we're playing, I believe it was fifth. It was either fifth or sixth at the time of the recording of the second video, but it's fallen a considerable amount all the way down to number 10. We see a Shadow variant sneaking back into the top 12. And then we've also got, of course, all of our classic mainstays that have been in the top 12 forever, like Uro, Blitz, Rakdos aggro, Mono Red aggro creeping up, White Green also creeping up. Gruul has been up here in the top 8 for pretty much a long time. And then Tron and Ad Nauseam also have been hovering around here with the classic blue-white control / Stoneblade. So I didn't change anything in the deck yet. It's only been a day and a half, and the meta that MTG Goldfish gives isn't always representative of the quote-unquote competitive meta that the Manatraders series may be attracting. People tend to play their jank in leagues, but I don't think there's going to be as much jank as far as Manatraders is concerned. I mean, the top 12 that we just saw wasn't necessarily full of jank. It was actually the opposite. Everything was fairly competitive. But I mean, the numbers may not be super accurate in terms of a competitive meta where people bring better decks when they expect to see better decks. So didn't really see a significant reason to change anything. This list has been working pretty well for me, at least as far as the first 4 rounds are concerned. So I'm just gonna jam it again and see how I can do with it. Also, new layout. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, and yeah, tell me if you like it. So the main change to the layout was I made the screen, the play screen, a lot bigger. I moved it all the way to the top left, and there's actually a screen. Part of the screen is actually hidden under my name, under my image, but I'm gonna be having the I'm gonna have the chat and the game log open on my screen, but the chat box on the far right of your screen will be covering it. So while my image and the chat margins have become wider, the actual game screen is actually also becoming wider and taller. And also now we should be recording in 1080 instead of 720. So overall you should be getting a lot better picture from now on. So let's ask Manatraders to pair us. Alright, so I have to create the match. Constructed. Modern tournament practice. We're going to create. We are waiting for Sharkcaster Mage. We've got Jund current selected, looks good. Alright, we got him. The sand's kind of marginal. We can go Ravine on 1, Blackleaf Cliffs on 2. We don't have a super strong 2-drop though. I mean, we've got the Ren on 6, no fetch land to pair with it. Ooze is definitely one of the weaker cards we can have. We don't have a lot of removal. I think it's pretty close, especially on the draw when we don't know if this hand's going to be good or not. I'm going to ship. Right, this hand is better. Gonna bottom a land. Most of my hand can function off of 2. Any third land unlocks Liliana, and we've got Ren and 6 to make sure we get there. Don't have the margins perfect yet on the stream. All right, so it looks like we're playing versus the green-white Vile Field of the Dead Valakut Primeval Titan deck. Let's see if I can get these margins adjusted. There we go. Alright, so suspicions confirmed. The opponent is playing that deck. So Elvish Reclaimer actually going to get to ramp them here when they sacrifice the flagstones. I'll get Stomping Ground because when Ren and 6 buys back Verdant, the basic I'm most likely to want to get is Swamp, and I've got Blackleaf Cliffs already. And I am going to play the Ren and 6 here, get that going. So the next turn's play is almost definitely Liliana Edict. It'll be awkward if they play something like a Dryad of the Illusory Grove, but it will at least get to kill something meaningful. Alright, so the big fear now is that next turn has a Titan waiting for us, which is possible if the opponent fetches for a Castle Garenbrig. They could also just sack the flagstones. That does it too. Get as far as getting them to 6 mana is concerned. Maybe they play like a Colony Garden. No real good way to play around that though. Naya, interesting. This could still be the Colony Garden. Right, well, there's the castle. Alright, so here comes Titan. So this might just be double Field of the Dead. I'm gonna wait and see what they get. I'm approximately 0% to win this game, unfortunately, but I do wanna see if the line that I think they're gonna take is what they're actually gonna do. All right, yeah. All right, so Fatal Push is going to be better than Lightning Bolt because it can kill Dryad. I want Nile Spell Bombs for sure. I want Clothis for sure. Ashiok also seems quite good. And then as far as taking off Field of the Dead and or Valakut, Alpine Moon does that pretty well. I think I dislike Kolaghan's Command's not really going to kill anything meaningful at 3 mana, and most of their removal is probably exile based. Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes tend to be pretty bad late game, so I'll shave 2 of those, keeping Thoughtseize over Inquisition because this hits things like the Primeval Titan. Honestly, not thinking Lightning Bolt's going to be doing a whole lot here. Dryad's got 4 toughness. Can kill stuff like Azusa if they're playing it. Red and 6 similarly doesn't really actually kill a whole lot. I need 1 more cut here. It's possible I could just cut a land, given that I expect this game to go a really long time. But 3rd land is really, really important when I'm playing stuff like Klothys, Ashiok, Liliana of the Veil. It's possible I just don't want a 4th Fatal Push, but I think I probably do. Maybe I can just cut a Tarmogoyf. It's my best and fastest threat, which makes me nervous. But again, the removal is probably exile based. I don't expect them to be playing stuff like Rest in Peace, given the fact that I have so many graveyard synergies. But yeah, cutting a Tarmogoyf does make me nervous, but I think I might be fine. We've got plenty of other threats to win the game with. Yeah, Sand's very slow, but it's got some powerful stuff going for it. Alright, and then no 1-drop from the opponent, pretty big here. I'm going to have to keep in mind that Veil of Summer could be a possibility. And then because of how my colors are set up, I'll get Stomping Ground again. Between Blackleaf Cliffs, Overgrown Tomb, Stomping Ground, we've got 2 of every color. Yeah, the Veil of Summer consideration could come up next turn. As far as if I want to activate the Ashiok targeting my opponent, they could fade the entire activation, whereas if I target myself, I could also just exile their graveyard for sure. That said, they don't have anything in their graveyard, so... Definitely going to want to be saving at least one of these fetches for post-tracker. So my land drop coming up is definitely Blackleaf Cliffs. This is the last turn it'll come in untapped. I guess there's a consideration of just playing Blackleaf Cliffs last turn, because if I draw another Blackleaf Cliffs, that one will always come in tapped. But I've got so much untapped mana that I don't think that's ever going to be an issue. So, assuming nothing drastic changes, I think I'm planning on just getting 2nd copy of Overgrown Tomb. I'm going to want a lot of green to make my potential Scavenging Oozes strong. The new Yargle Explorer. Alright, so pretty lucky that we get to play Ashiok uncontested. And I don't even think I'm gonna activate it yet. Hitting one explore really isn't that impactful. Like, I could target myself, but there's nothing in particular I'm looking to hit. What's up, Ian? How's it going? This is Dryad. Tracker of your own. Jeez. Alright, well, I'm going to get to play Tireless Tracker and Revolta Fatal Push. Veil of Summer is still going to be a pretty annoying occurrence if they've got it. Maybe I should just upkeep it to make them use mana on their turn. They could always sack a clue in response in hopes to dig for it, but the odds they hit it off of the top are pretty low. I think it's much more likely that if they have it, they would just do it now. Alright, so I think it's worth more cutting off a mana next turn as opposed to risking them just top decking it. Pulse an awkward one because they'll both die, but that's okay. Alright, so yeah, we'll upkeep it. Yeah, and I definitely need to fetch on upkeep as well because I need the Revolt. I could do it now to ensure that I get the clue, but I also need to ensure I have Revolt. Okay. So please no Veil of Summer on top of this. Cool. Alright. So as it turns out, it would have worked out better had we did it on our turn. We've got some decent decent follow-ups though, and an Ashiok still in play, so that's nice. Castle. Dryad. Alright, well that looks like a pretty okay pulse target. The upside of Bloodbraid into removal is pretty high. Issue is if I don't hit it, I kind of have to just let their Dryad attack my Ashiok. That's fine. I may want the Pulse to kill a Titan though, because they're not searching as it is. I could sacrifice Clue first. If I hit something like Liliana of the Veil, high probability I want to just cast that. Sacking Clue as well means I still have the ability to do both of my other plays. So maybe getting some extra information is good here. Liliana? Liliana would probably be the nuts. Fatal Push. That works too. So I do have Revolt because of the clue. So I think I should probably just Fatal Push this now. This means I can't play my Bloodbraid, but that's fine. I get to keep the Pulse for Primeval Titan. And again, Primeval Titan is not searching because of Ashiok. And I don't really think I want to start Ashiok-ing them. I can start hitting Silver Bullets, which is nice. Yeah, I mean, their graveyard is pretty significantly full. Glyphs will be small if I start hitting them, but that's okay. I'll start minusing them while I know they don't have Veil of Summer. Ideally, I hit a Silver Bullet of some kind. I hit one of the Field of the Deads. As far as I know, they're only playing 2. Also a Celestial Purge, which would have gotten rid of the Ashiok. So that was lucky. So the plan is to Bloodbraid. It'll be awkward if I hit a removal spell. Ideal case scenario would be another Planeswalker or another creature. And I'll leave up as much green as possible in case I hit a Scavenging Ooze. Would love this to hit like Liliana or something. Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is also fine. Okay. So they had second answer to Ashiok. Hopefully they don't have multiple routes to Titan. Path as well. Okay. I'll leave the swamp in the deck because if I ever want to fetch to enable Revolt, I can fetch a basic swamp and then use that swamp to cast the push. So I've got only Vesuva. I mean the opponent's hand, the opponent's like play out has been pretty good for beating us so far. Like if they just draw a Titan, we kind of just die on the spot. Like if they go Titan, we can pulse all the zombies, or we can pulse the Titan, but then all the zombies are just gonna wreak havoc. My regular time slot, nothing really. I've just had lots of schoolwork to do at nights now. So also I'm not tired in the middle of the day usually, so. Gonna have to keep on dodging Titan somehow. Alright, my tracker is gone. So not really a use for holding fetch lands other than fodder to plus to my Lilianas of the Veil, and I do wanna keep the push and the Maelstrom Pulse. So I'm gonna hold at least one dead card in my hand. Well, if I'm gonna draw another land, I'm happy it's Ravine. Alright, so I still think I am significantly behind to a Titan, or even just the opponent naturally drawing a Field of the Dead. We've gotten rid of one Field of the Dead already. That was lucky. A blocker, you say? I think I'm actually just gonna push the Tribe Elder. That'll enable my Ravine to get through, and I really want to be pushing damage right now, I think. Because right now I'm attacking for 7, which puts the opponent to 4. One short of lethal after attacking with a Bloodbraid and the Ravine into a blocker next turn. Not great. Oh, wait a sec. I can do the classic Jund trick, which is double animate a Raging Ravine, because it'll gain the ability twice. I've already got the lands in play to do that. Here's a Jund trick if you didn't know. Activate it again. This is the only man land where this works. Bummer. Fortunately, we've kind of flooded out. We've been doing okay for ourselves. We need to continually dodge the Titan. If they hit the Titan, they hit the Titan, and we're just dead. Alright. So this gets Field of the Dead. We can pulse the Titan, but they're gonna have 3 zombies left over. Well, 4 actually, because this Vesuva is gonna copy the Field of the Dead, huh? So now what needs to happen is I need to draw a removal spell for the Primeval Titan. If I can kill the Primeval Titan and all the zombies this turn, I could be in it. But yeah, as it stands, I need to pulse this Titan. So not entirely sure now how I'm supposed to punch through all these zombies. Pretty sure I just can't, because there goes the pulse. Just drew another Titan, huh? Alright, you got me. So we are looking for someone by the name of Pikatron, or Pikatron. There they are. So it looks like Grixis Shadow. I don't know if it's Pikachu Entron or Pic-Atron. I have no idea. So yep, Grixis Shadow confirmed. Wouldn't really be surprised to have the opponent just pop off a Stubborn Denial. Swamp an okay draw. This means I can't cast Red and 6 on turn 2 if I have the option. But I think it's fine to save the life and just go with the Swamp. Swamp a fine draw. Alright, I'm just going to take the threat. Pretty good snipe there. Unfortunately, these fatal pushes are going to render my Tarmogoyf pretty useless, so I'll probably just hold the Tarmogoyf on turn 2, because there's a chance that my Liliana can eat them from the opponent's hand before before I am forced to play the Tarmogoyf. They targeted themselves with that. Alright, well, you got to imagine there goes the Liliana. They've got plenty of answers for Goyf. What? Okay, I don't quite understand that. That was a good draw too, because their pickup may be Stubborn Denial. Like maybe they were hoping I would just tap out into it. I'll play the land first to play around the Stubborn Denial if that's what they've got. Jeez. All right, well, let's take Thoughtseize. I guess that makes sense. Their inclination was to just Thoughtseize the Liliana next turn, hold all of their fatal pushes. But I mean, all right, so this Liliana is gonna hopefully tear him to shreds. Alright, so I'll get Overgrown Tomb and a Stomping Ground between these two. And I can just discard Lightning Bolts. I'll discard Forest first. Alright, so let's start having the opponent ditch their fatal pushes. And I'll just keep my spells. Liliana very strong versus Grixis Shadow. We've already got 2 edicts loaded up. Right. Sounds about right. Alright, so Grixis Shadow. Spellbomb should be strong. Clothis should be strong. Fatal Push should be strong. Bitter Blossom is fantastic. They have to Battle Rage through it, or they just never punch through it. Bolt, not going to kill pretty much anything. I like cutting 1 Inquisition. I like cutting Hidden Disruption versus the mid-range decks, but the opponent's Shadow deck could function as a pseudo combo deck with the fast Battle Rage kill. So I like defending versus those. And I like Thoughtseize before Inquisition because Thoughtseize can take stuff like Gurmag Angler. Renin 6 doesn't kill a whole lot, so I like cutting one of those usually. So this has me needing to cut 1 more. On account of the opponent playing Gurmag Angler and things like Snapcaster Mage, I think I need to keep stuff like Cling to Dust and Scavenging Ooze. I could definitely see cutting just another Inquisition, but I do like having one on turn 1. Even up to turn 3 or 4 is fine. Sneaking something through a Stubborn Denial can also be useful. I think I'm going to want the Kolaghan's Command to buy back a creature. Most of their removal is destroy based, so getting back a creature a pretty relevant mode. I think again I'll just cut a Tarmogoyf. I'm bringing in another threat in Clothis, so maybe trimming a threat isn't the worst. It's either that or another Inquisition. It could even be a land, especially now since I'm on the draw. But again, hitting that 3rd land is ridiculously important. So I've got lots of answers to the card Death Shadow, but I'm kind of soft to a Gurmag Angler. I don't expect to be needing to kill a Shadow this turn. If I have to, it won't be big enough to the point where a Stubborn Denial kills me through Ferocious, so I'll take this turn to get a Ravine down. Now I definitely want to get a Black Source in untapped. Kolaghan's Command a fine pickup. The likely second mode is just having the opponent discard a card. Good old Vet Shock, untap. Alright, so this means the opponent can Gurmag Angler, if that's their route of attack. They have to be worried about me having another Liliana, but as far as they know, which is these 4 cards, I don't have another one. It's gonna snap Inquisition, huh? Alright, well, I'll let that happen. I could use the Kolaghan's command to kill the Snapcaster, so they'll probably just end up taking the Kolaghan's command. Alright, so now I have to figure, do I want to just Fatal Push this now? Don't think I do. I could draw something like Renin 6, which would answer it much more cleanly. Alright, and Bloodbraid, obviously a pretty excellent pickup. I could shock in a Blood Crypt in order to have up double Fatal Push. I mean, I can always play this Ravine as my 5th lands to make sure I get this Bloodbraid down. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do. I think what I'm gonna do is I am gonna shock this, and then I'll just say go. And I'll Fatal Push this before damage. They can't Stubborn Denial me quite yet. Like this play could bite me if they have Hand Disruption into a Shadow, because then they could take other Fatal Push. But if their Hand Disruption is Thoughtseize, they may even just take the Bloodbraid. Alright, so Ferocious is active now. Yep. Alright, so I lost 2 life kind of willy-nilly, unfortunately. Alright, that's a little late to the party. I'm just going to jam the Bloodbraid before I can get Thoughtseized. Come on, Liliana. Goyf. Goyf is fine too. It's something that doesn't just get Stubborn Denialed here. Not attacking into a 5/5. That much is clear. Yeah, it looks like they want to just defend this thing. Thoughtseize is a good draw. Yeah, let's just lead on that. See if we can get this Tarmogoyf larger. I mean, this on its own adds sorcery. If I can take another type, my Goyf will attack past the Royal Scions, barring a Fatal Push, which they'd probably just respond with. Interesting. Alright, so they do have Ferocious available. My Fatal Push can kill the Plague Engineer with any amount of Revolt. But am I going to be able to beat a second copy of Gurmag Angler? I mean, if I take the Gurmag Angler here, that will add the creature and make my Goyf a 5/6 and be able to attack past an Angler. Taking a Stubborn Denial does not do that. Yeah, I'm going to take second Angler. It's just a hard to answer threat. And now I can attack the Scions pretty freely. I could even just attack the opponent because they're dead to a single extra hit. But I like getting the Scions out of range of ultimate. The ultimate could be pretty menacing. And it gets there kind of quickly. Alright, so now the decision is, do I hold up the Fatal Push? Or do I just play the ooze and have a green available? I think I want to play the ooze and have a green available. Given the opponent's hand, there's no real reason to hold up the push. And I will have to keep in mind that pretty much anything I eat will be shrinking the Tarmogoyf. If I want to keep it bigger than an angler, may need to forgo activating it. Alright, Plague Engineer, yep. With Stubborn Denial available. So I can eat the opponent's Aether Gust, which keeps instant in the yard, continually weakening their various Snapcasters and future Gurmag Angler Delving. If they name Lurgoyf here and my Tarmogoyf shrinks below Angler anyway, it's possible I just want to get the counter on the ooze while I can. It'll make my Goyf a 3/4, which means I need to add a lot of types. So if I activate Ravine and just a jam at the opponent with all 4 creatures, the 2 smallest things to get through would be Bloodbraid and Ooze, which means the opponent goes to 5, or he gets hit for 5, 6 if I want to, puts them to 3. I think for now I'm just going to go after the Gust, keep the Goyf as big as possible. Running 6 is a good one. It's pretty likely that just draws the Stubborn Denial. The opponent knows about this Fatal Push though, but we also just don't have a way to revolt it. So yeah, let's try for it and not expect it to resolve. Makes sense. Now Goyf stays small because we already had the Liliana in the yard. Alright, we don't have Revolt, although we could attack with a Bloodbraid, which is relatively useless at this point. If they block with the Gurmag Angler, we could then Fatal Push the Plague Engineer. Only downside to this that I could immediately see is that it makes our double blocks on the Angler much worse, because we'd be forced to put Goyf and Ooze in front of it and then force a blowout. I think I'm just going to hold it for now. Could go all out at Scions to try to kill it. Is that worth it? They would get to trade with the Ooze on Engineer, and they would get to just eat with the Tarmogoyf, so the board would be, I have a 3/2, you have a 5/5, except I have Ravines. I don't think that's favorable. But I also don't want the opponent to keep on activating these Scions. Alright, and then luckily I caught myself. I do want to exile something now. So if the opponent has an Angler, they can't just play it immediately while I don't have priority. Alright, and then this would enable them to do it again if they have a basic land. But the odds that happens are on the low end. I'll say okay to this. Alright, so now there's a land that I get to eat. Another Engineer. Yep. Well, I want to say I was happy that I attacked the Scions because they're setting up a wall in front of it. But the opponent would have been at 4 had I just attacked them. But it also would have ultimated by now. So. And that was Elemental. I Oh, because they're worried I'm playing Seasoned Pyromancer, which I'm not. Alright, well, I don't have Revolt, so this is just gonna work. What I need is a Liliana of the Veil. Or better yet, Liliana into a Bloodbraid into Liliana of the Veil. Doing this now so the opponent can't like Angler in their second main or something. Should have responded to it to prevent that. Only one creature and one land, both in the opponent's yard, so I'll leave them. Another land, not great. So the opponent could go untapped land into Angler, but again, odds that happens are low. I'll just keep Goyf big. Well, now I get to eat their Angler. Come on, deck. Well, I'm playing a tracker, so I guess I should hold it. Got him. Ouch. Eating this first in case they're playing Lightning Bolt somehow. Dismember. Disgusting. If I draw a Pulse, I do just win. Was I gonna activate the Ravine and kill both engineers? Come on, Pulse. Clothis. So I need to play this land if I want to be able to block with the Raging Ravine. think I want to have the option. So it's got first strike. Double block not viable. So now any removal spell actually does it, right? Because I can get a Plague Engineer out of the way, kill the other one, and then have 2 attackers. Clothis is going to put them to 3 here. So any removal spell does it here. Which means I want to leave up the Bloodstained Mire to enable Revolt. More land's not going to do it. So what happens here? I need 8 mana to block with 2 Ravines, so I can't do that. So if they plus targeting the Angler, I have to put Bloodbraid in front of it and go to 1, which means they have an attack on their 2 Plague Engineers. I guess I'm passing. So now do I want to just block? I think I want to block with a Raging Ravine. Reason being is I want to be able to attack with Bloodbraid and the other Ravine next turn, so I have 2 attackers if I want. Oh, this is Elemental. That makes sense. So we'll say, okay, go to block. I'm still taking just 5 here, which means I'm going to 1. And the opponent's had ultimate too, so we're gonna need something to happen now. Oof, Gust the Clothis. Alright, well I guess that's going bottom. It needs to be a Bloodbraid into something. Alright. Bloodbraid into a spot removal spell. It can't be Fatal Push. Actually, it can, because Clothis left. I mean, what do I leave up? I guess it's the Raging Ravine, Blood Crypt. So this has to hit spot removal. Cling? I mean, Cling is a redraw. I'm gonna have to put mana into whatever I draw, though. Damn it, another land. Yeah, they just block, and then I die to the Angler. Kind of unlucky at the end there. Yeah, I don't think I want to change anything. I'm just going to run it back. See if we can get that turn 2 Bitter Blossom. That's so painful. I think it's too painful. I mean, this is better. It's much softer to an Inquisition or Thoughtseize. At a minimum, hopefully the Spell Bomb can slow down a Gurmag Angler. Alright, no Inquisition or Thoughtseize is big, and that was a good draw, so we're on our way to a good game. And then even shock for like a Stubborn Denial or something. Alright, so like they weren't worried about Inquisition or Thoughtseize. So, at least if they didn't have a Stubborn Denial. So, I'm assuming they just don't have one. I mean, if they've got it, that really sucks. But I mean, my read is they don't. So I get to save 2 life by shocking an Overgrown Tomb now, and then just planning on getting a basic next turn with the Mire to Bloodbraid. As opposed to having to fetch shock. Alright, so I don't think they have it. They just don't. Alright, cool. Alright, so now the discard is actually kind of funky. Because like I do want all the cards in my hand. I think I should just ditch the land because these 2 cards are just too good to ditch. I mean, if I ditch the Kolaghan's command, I can guaranteed Bloodbraid next turn. K-command's not even that good next turn. I mean, like, also discarding K-command makes the Liliana asymmetrical pretty quickly. It feels strange, but I think I want to guarantee a Bloodbraid next turn. Not super worried about preemptively cracking a Spell Bomb versus a Gurmag Angler. As we got Liliana in play to deal with it. I mean, their hand was not Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes. It was not Stubborn Denials. So I gotta think their hand is some combination of lands, removal, and threats. Cool, that bricks. So either they don't have the Angler or they're just scared to play into it, so their threats might be Shadows. Discard the Blackleaf Cliffs. Alright, it's Bloodbraid. So ideal scenario here is a threat. I'll get Mountain here, it's second red. Alright, so second threat, please. Another Liliana, not great, but it's probably fine just to get another card out of the opponent's hand. I don't think it's going to come down to an ultimate pretty often. So I will actually cast this just as an asymmetrical discard. The potential blowout factor there is that the opponent has Lightning Bolt and they can kill my Liliana while the Bloodbraid is still on the stack. So that would have been a consideration for not casting second Liliana. But I mean, if we cast it, it's just opponent discards a card. So yeah, my read right now is that their threats are shadows. Unless they've drawn a Gurmag Angler, which it looks like they might have. Yeah, gonna have to be careful that that the Liliana doesn't get ambushed by a Snapcaster Mage. Alright, now we're in a top deck mode. We do that kind of well. And Thoughtseize actually pretty okay. Give us some insight. Hopefully there's no Snapcaster here. Snapcaster here would be a disaster. Uh-oh. Right, so now the Edict will only get a Snapcaster. I mean, hopefully we can take removal. I guess since I'm planning on popping the Spell Bomb, so I should just do it now so I have some information as to what I might want to take off of the discard spell. So like if we draw a run in 6 here, it's so good. Alright, well at least we know we get to play an extra threat. Alright, this is interesting. I think I'm supposed to take the Scions here. They can't actually play the Shadow yet. And Scions is beefy. It's going to give the thing +2/+0 trample and make sure my Liliana doesn't get to stick around. So I'm going to take the Scions, leave them with the Shadow. This game is officially interesting. Alright, now I have 2 things to block with to hopefully have this Liliana take care of the Angler. Alright, Thoughtseize means they get to play their Shadow. Alright, top deck War. No attack is strange. I guess they don't... Oh, I guess it's not super strange, because then I would get to double block and then Edict onto an empty board, and then we're just in a straight top deck War where I get to draw first. That said, Renin 6 is a pretty good one. Alright, how many creatures are in yards right now? The opponent just has the 1. It's about to be 2. Alright, well, I'm going to pop off this Edict here. Don't even know what they sacrifice. I guess Fatal Push hits Shadow pretty easily, so they may just keep the Angler. Shadow can get bigger, but Gurmag Angler is bigger now. So it's kind of close, actually. And then I'm going to get back this Wooded Foothills with the Renin 6, because I can get basic Forest. Save some life. I want to get the Forests, of course, because I've got Scavenging Ooze in play. Yeah, this Edict is actually not a super easy decision. Because again, Gurmag Angler is bigger now, but Shadow can outgrow it. Yeah, I think that decision is probably correct from the opponent. And I think I'll get the basic Forest now. The opponent's going to be doing damage in intervals of 5. So 11, kind of the same as 12. And I don't want to fetch in response to the opponent drawing like a Snapcaster or something stupid. They don't have anything like great to get back right now. But I also don't want them to draw Kolagon's Command. I mean, a Snap Thoughtseize is just fine for me, so it's possible I should just main phase, get this out of range of Lightning Bolt if the opponent is playing it. And now, if the opponent doesn't draw removal, we actually have a profitable double block on the Angler. Issue is if they have removal to break it up, we're very behind. They'll just be left with an Angler in play, and we'll have a Renin 6. So this would be an excellent time for the opponent to just draw a land. Then attack here puts us in a rough spot. Alright, we dodge the attack. Come on, Bloodbraid. Terminate's good too. So if they've drawn Stubborn Denial, they've drawn Stubborn Denial, you know. I'll leave up maximum green mana. Please no stub. We did it. Sick. Well, bam. Alright, so I'm prompting the repair now. Oops. There we go. Alright, we got a match. Cool. So, I am creating the match for someone named Twitch AWP. And the wrong person joined, so let's try this again. There they are. Yeah, luckily I was able to click out quickly enough. The opponent kept the 7. Inquisition and a removal spell is nice, but 5 lands is risky. I'm gonna ship. If I had 1 less land, I'm much happier about it. Alright, I'm kind of just as happy with this one. Don't have anything to do on turn 1, and nothing interactive to do on turn 2. Taxes, it looks like. This could also be the green-white Titan deck again. Devoted Company. Alright, well this matchup should be fine. Unfortunately, if they have the combo, they just get to kill us. I have to kill the giver before I can kill the devoted druid because of the protection clause. Alright, do you have it? Alright, so they get to put whatever equipment they want into play. I mean, I've got the Kolaghan's command. They could also just put it into play on their turn, or at instant speed. Oh, that does it too, right? Alright, so we didn't keep a hand with any interaction. Alright, Brutality kills a thing. Ashiok prevents searching. Fatal Push is just another removal spell. It's possible I went Nile Spellbomb for some graveyard type stuff. Didn't see anything that would require it, but it's not an unsafe hedge. Guess if I'm bringing in Spellbomb, I can take out Cling. Although Cling may actually just be better. It's a cheaper redraw, and in the late game it can net me a card. Kolagon's command seems kind of slow, but it kills the artifacts. So there's just like almost nothing I want to take out. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I guess I can take out Thoughtseize. Like, they could be playing Company, but I don't think they are. In the event they are, Brutality can take those. Bloodbraid seems on the slow side, especially versus the combo deck. Ooze seems on the slow side, especially when we're not even certain that they're doing a lot of graveyard stuff. Gotta cut one more. Probably just the other Ooze. It's just kind of slow. Just maximum spot removal and hand disruption. I did cut a good number of the threats, though. Yeah, sounds great. Keep. So I could lead on Raging Ravine so I can bolt and Inquisition next turn, but I don't want to get Veil of Summered. So I think I'll just Inquisition now. So I think I do want to just take a 1-drop, keep him on the back foot. So the question of which one comes up. I can't kill the Hierarch on turn 2 because I don't have an untapped red. So I think I'll take that. And then I guess next turn I'll plan on just playing Ravine. And then turn 3 maybe I can Edict the Giver. Drawing untapped red makes it a lot easier. There it is. Alright, so now my opponent says this is an Assarin Visions deck. So now I can bolt pretty much whenever I want. I may even want to just Terminate because it's more mana efficient, but Terminate gets Veil of Summered. So I'll Terminate now. I think I want to save the cheaper removal spell for later. And I don't want to getting veiled, so doing this now seems fine. Stoneforge is a good one from the opponent. Liliana will get to deal with it relatively cleanly. Feast and Famine, yep. Good draw. Alright, Liliana minus time. Make sure there's not anything to carry equipment. So this game's going well, I just need a threat. Another Stoneforge, jeez. Alright, well that one's getting bolted. I think I may want the Kolagon's command to kill an equipment. Fatal Push is nice. Opponent got Batter Skull. So maybe I'm just discarding Ravine. It's like I kind of want all of my interaction. Then I'll plus first so the opponent is discarding without information. Guess here goes a canopy. Call, alright. Alright, I definitely don't want them to be able to just flash in their thing. So Fatal Push can kill Germ Token, but Coolgun's Command can just kill the Batter Skull. Fatal Push also gets Veiled, so I think Lightning Bolt is the better removal spell moving forward. So I'll use the push. Finale for 2? Yep. Alright, so I could probably just bolt this, whatever it is. Unless it's something weird. Yeah, let's just bolt it. I could Liliana Edict it. But I would like the Liliana to stick around even after an Edict. Alright, I guess I'm just discarding Forest. I want Kolaghan's Command. Like if they hit a land, they're almost definitely just gonna Batter Skull me. Let's keep the Kolaghan's Command around. So I would imagine here goes a Sword of Feast and Famine. Yep. So if they Batter Skull me, I'll destroy it. And I guess 2 damage somewhere. Another Finale. Okay. Choosing the one from the yard makes some sense. Alright, so I guess I'll Edict that one. I mean, I could... What I could do, even, is I could just Kolaghan's Command, shoot that, have the opponent discard. That takes care of Batter Skull as well, except I actually get to plus the Liliana. So that seems good. You discard, kill that. Alright, cool. Alright, so still Devoted Devastation. Is it possible that I want more hand disruption? I think Brutality definitely gains some equity, knowing that they're playing the various Devastation, the Finale of Devastation card. But I mean, I guess we knew that was happening. It's kind of in the namesake of the deck. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I want to change anything. I am a little threat light, which makes me nervous. It's just 4 Goyfs, a Tracker, and 2 Bloodbraids. Maybe I should just find a way to put another Ooze in here. What do I cut? Maybe on the draw, it's fine to cut a Liliana of the Veil. I could see that. Liliana is so good, though. But I mean, it's very possible that my 1-mana spells are just better than it. Maybe I cut a Cling. Like that. I could see that. Like, bringing in another Ooze means I have more Grave Hate. Kind of net neutral in between games here. Unfortunately, I don't have the command set up yet. I'm working on that, though. Stream Decker is on the list of things to get. I was actually going to do it last night, but instead I worked on my layout. Got a doozy. So if they wanted, they could cast Sword next turn and then equip it on turn 3 and attack. You've got Liliana to beat it, though. Unless they untap their lands in Finale for 1. Stoneforge is so annoying. But I mean, they've already got Sword of Feast and Famine. They may only have one more equipment anyway. There's still new follower, new subs. We just haven't had any, I don't think. Yeah, it's still there. Like, I can test it. Watch. So this will be a test one. Oh, it didn't show up. That's strange. Alright, let's try this. Alright, now it's there. Alright, the audio was there, but the image wasn't. I had it layered wrong. Like I said, I was working on the layout yesterday, and I guess I buried it by accident. Alright, well, Sword is not a problem, at least as far as the following turn is concerned. I've got another Inquisition, which I'm probably casting before Tarmogoyf, so it's really a decision between Stoneforge and Finale. I'll take the Finale, just because the Stoneforge is redundant. And a Giver? Yikes. Well, that was nutty. Well, now I'm kind of forced to take the Sword. Yeah, graphic not up top just because I had it layered wrong, but now it should be good. Or they just straight don't play second Stoneforge. I guess they're planning on activating their first copy. Here comes Batterskull. Don't know how I'm getting out of this one. Like, I can Liliana Edict, but that probably just gets rid of a bird. I mean, it's kind of the only good play I have. Like, I can play Tarmogoyf, but it's outsized by the Germ. Maybe it at least forces them to use an attack. And then, like, on the following turn after Liliana is dead, I can put 2 4/5s into play. Not nothing, but I'm behind. You don't see it? I had just adjusted it. Tell me if you see it now. So I'm going to have to find Maelstrom Pulse. OBS top graphic, no. I mean, there's no other graphic. It's just Obi-Wan. So I kind of need to hit Maelstrom Pulse now, or else they're going to have pretty much infinite protection, because Givers can target each other. For that reason, maybe I should just Hail Mary the Bloodbraid. I think I have to Hail Mary this Bloodbraid. We got double green with getting double mountain here. Come on, Pulse. Bolt. I mean, that at least breaks up the infinite protection. We can target this Giver. Oh yeah, that's not there anymore. That's not there anymore, Ian. I have to find a spot to put it back. My screen, my actual play screen is a lot bigger now. Oh, I misunderstood you. Yeah, when you said graphic, I was thinking text because like I associate it with text. So when you meant graphic, I thought you meant like a picture. You got infinite mana. Oh, and this gets the combo artifact, right? The one that pings me every time. Assuming they've still got it. Yep, Viridian Longbow. That'll do it. Alright, let me re-queue real fast. So we are looking for Josh is Call Me a Fabo. Right there. Well, this is a no-go. I mean, we've got turn 2 Ren and 6. We've got something to do on 1 mana. If we hit a second land, we're mostly online. Cling to Dust is even a redraw. I'm gonna keep. Just bought my expensive thing. Arid Mesa, so I guess it's Prowess or Burn. Well, if it's Prowess or Burn, I really don't want to fetch Shock for a Thoughtseize. But if I get a swamp, I can't cast Ren in 6. Yeah, I've got Cling to Dust to buy some life. Maybe I really just need to hope it's not burn. Like, Thoughtseize versus Prowess isn't as dire. But I mean, I think I just have to hope that it's somehow not burn. Wow, this sucks. I'm gonna do it. Lava Axe myself. Alright, it's not burn. So we can take the Manamorphose to disable the Stormwing entity, or we can just take the Stormwing entity. We'll just take the Stormwing. Alright, so if we can hit a land next turn, we're in a good spot, because we may even be able to just ping off the Sprite Dragon. Come on, Blackleaf Cliffs. Come on, Blackleaf Cliffs. Damn it. Alright, well, I mean, that's at least a redraw. Or not a redraw, it's at least a land for next turn. As far as we know, they don't have any more threats, so untapped black next turn means we can Liliana their only threat, which is something. We've got Cling to Dust as a redraw. We can't target the Stormwing with it, because then we'll just gain 3 life. So red means no second Stormwing entity, at least yet. Or they have a land and the Stormwing. Soul Scar, yep. Gut Shot. Paying life. Light up the stage. Yikes. So now the Lilianas aren't even necessarily great, because they have a choice of creatures to sacrifice. Yikes. It's not a land. That is, but it's not black. This Goyf is awkward in the face of the Soul Scar. I mean, I kind of have to kill something, though, because, like, this is hitting me for 4. Like, I am just dead next turn. They just go Swift Spear, Burst Lightning me, Lava Dart. Are they gonna? They just Lava Dart me a bunch of times and I die. I'm pretty sure I'm just dead. I can't kill the Sprite Dragon. Like, if I go Goyf, block this, like, they'll still have Swift Spear, Lava Dart. I'm just dead to that. Yeah, so I am just dead. Clothis seems good. Brutality seems good. Spell Bomb seems good. As does another copy of Fatal Push. And I even brought in Bitter Blossoms to some success. It does a really good job blocking all the flying creatures over time. Like, they can get Lava Darted, but that's fine. Losing 1 life every turn may be a liability in terms of all the burn that they have. But let's just see how many things I want to cut. Thoughtseize gets the Stormwing entity, but I think Acquisition probably better. Tracker is probably a little bit too expensive for its ease of death. Golgon's Command also not really going to kill a whole lot, and it's expensive. Renin 6 kills almost nothing. Need to cut 1 more. Don't think I can cut any more threats. Liliana's insane. Maelstrom Pulse is good. Terminate kills the Stormwing. So maybe it's just a 1-mana spell, or maybe Collective Brutality isn't insane enough. What happens if I cut one of these? That seems fine. Let's give it a go. I would love to go first. Not great, but we can kill their first thing, and we've got 2 oozes. This hand would be significantly improved with something like a Liliana. What's up, Nick? How's it going? Alright, so I think I'm going to take the 1 damage and then bolt it at the end step. I really don't want to get mutagenic growth here. Alright, so as it turns out, I could have had 1 more life. Goyf's good. If I add a land to the yard, which I can do, I can ensure that Goyf doesn't just die to another removal spell, like a lightning bolt. Would also survive a flame slash. So unfortunately, I have to get Overgrown Tomb paying the life, because I need 2nd black. Just got done with class. Sweet. So Goyf, not a bad pickup. Still would really like something like Liliana of the Veil. Soulscar. Awkward. Oh, okay. Alright, so please no gut shot. I think I'm going to escalate here. I'm likely to just discard the Stomping Ground. 2 modes. -2, -2. Reveal the hand. I expect the take the instant or sorcery mode to work. I don't necessarily expect the -2, -2 to work, but they didn't have anything to save the Swift Spear. It just auto-resolved. Yeah, you need to be 7-3 within the first 10 matches. I think I'm just gonna take the Manamorphose. That enables their better threat, and as a redraw. Right, so that went pretty ideally. Yes, two more wins. All right, Fatal Push, a pretty good one as well. It looks like we kind of lucked out on this one, as the opponent didn't luck out, but we had a pretty unfortunate curve out. All right, so I will leave up Overgrown Tomb. I mean, they're gonna get to bolt this, but they're gonna get to bolt something no matter what. Maybe I just shouldn't let them use their mana. But I mean, Aether Gust is a thing they could be doing, so let's just play the Gust, because if they want to Aether Gust me, I don't want to have nothing. I mean, they could bolt this and Aether Gust, and then I have nothing, but then they're using a bunch of turns, and I get to just replay a Goyf. All right, I'm okay taking 1 if I get to just gain 1 life here. Taking 1 if they attack me with a Sprite Dragon, I mean. Alright, they hit it. Sprite Dragon. Alright, so now they get to Aether Gust. So, but I think I just want to play another Ooze, because that means I get to have a threat in play after the Aether Gust no matter what. This bolt is gone. And I'll hold up the activation / fatal push, so they make decisions before before they know that I'm killing their thing, as opposed to just activating with ooze. I'll just take the one, make them make first move. They can light up the stage here, but that's probably okay. Yeah, maybe a mistake. Now they get the Stormwing, but that's fine. Yeah, Stormwing is actually fine for me because I get to Fatal Push their Sprite, and then they have to block the ooze. They have to block something with the Stormwing, or else they just die. How many creatures even are there? I have 1, 2. There are 2. Yeah, so let's say they eat a creature now. Get a little bigger. So I guess like I even get to attack first, because the odds they block aren't super high. Like if they have mutagenic growth, it'll be unfortunate. But that's about it. That's about the only thing that straight blows us out. Like even a gut shot would just be trading with ooze. Alright, they did have mutagenic growth. Say okay to that. So I guess I just eat another spell. I could just eat a creature, but then my Glyph shrinks. I think I want them going to 2 here. I'll just eat a spell to make Bedlam Revelers worse, I guess. Eat that one. Alright, so yeah, maybe letting him light up the stage was bad. I mean, probably was. So they have Gust and some other stuff. I'll put it on top. And they're at 1. Cool. All right. Blue-red prowess. It's possible on the draw. I just need Thoughtseize as a way to disrupt the Stormwing plan. Don't know what I would cut for it, though. Maybe Cloth this is just too slow on the draw. I could definitely see that being the case. Similarly, Bitter Blossom also kind of slow. But I mean, it could still be good. I think I'm just going to run it back like this. Maybe I should be taking out a Bitter Blossom for the other Brutality. I could definitely see that being the case. Let's give that a go. Come on, good hand, please. Sorry, Dope Dragon. I don't have the command set up yet. You're the second person to try today. I was gonna do it last night, but I worked on my layout instead. It's on the list of things to do. Yeah, I really got to get on that. The plan is tonight. Come on. Jeez. The issue is, like, even if I draw the land, I don't have anything good to do. I mean, I get brutality. Yikes. Like, if my hand were, if I knew I was drawing only lands from here on out, this hand would be good. Alright, this hand's good. This hand is good. I think I'm gonna bottom Spell Bomb. I think I want to keep all my interactive cards. Definitely the 2 lands, and Bloodbraid's my only threat. Alright, no 1 mana play is big. This could just mean they're setting up for Stormwing, though. I mean, if their play is the Sprite, I'm gonna want to be able to Fatal Push it. So I guess what I should do is just lead on Blackleaf Cliffs. I could just get basics if I want. I'll lead on the Cliffs. Nick wants me to drink some water, I see. Alright, here you go. I got you. Alright, so they're setting up for Stormwing. So I'm going to try to bolt it. If they've got a Phyrexian spell, it won't work. I'll let them make their scry decisions first. Alright, so please no Phyrexian spell. I mean, sometimes they take them out just because Jund can 2-for-1 the Phyrexian spells pretty well. Alright, so no Phyrexian spell would be pretty big here. Oh, it worked. Whew. That was a dodge. Ooh, we drew Bitter Blossom. Okay. I'm going to get Basic Forest. Pass. And that's the one we have in the deck, right? We boarded 1 out. Second Stormwing setup? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Second one's going to be harder. I mean, if we draw a Bolt here, we could combo it with Brutality. I mean, Bitter Blossom's going to start blocking these things. I mean, this is one of the reasons we brought in Bitter Blossom was to basically fog these things. All right, Inquisition, not bad. Let's lead there. Lava Dart and the Fairy, okay. Oh, so they do have Mutagenic Growth. And the Reveler? Jeez. Alright, so they have 3 spells in Yard currently. I think I'm kind of forced to take the Mutagenic Growth. If I draw a Bolt, I'm going to need it to be able to kill the Stormwing. I mean, Aether Gust really isn't even that good against my current board. Yeah, I'll take Gust. Or sorry, the Mutagenic Growth. This Reveler may end up giving me the hands, though. Right, that can get pushed. I guess I'm gonna get a Swamp and do it. And this is actually the sideboarded Fatal Push. I know that because the art's different. Make a thing. So if I Brutality to take their Gust, the Reveler just going to restock them anyway. Would have really liked untapped land. I mean, they might take the Lava Dart out of their yard to kill the Fairy Rogue. Pseudo gain 2. Is it like a light up the stage? Yep. Right, well, we know the hand is Bedlam Reveler, Aether Gust. So we know Collected Brutality will work for killing the Soul Scar. Whoa, that was insane. All right, so that gets to get rid of the potential for Bedlam Reveler being nuts. So that was a really good draw. So now I just need to figure out the sequencing on this. It's like, do I want their Soul Scar to be exiled? I don't think I want their Soul Scar to be exiled because it's potential food for Scavenging Oozes. I don't think creatures in their yard actually mean anything. So I think I want to pop the Spell Bomb first. There's the ooze. So again, we know their hands. So let's just get rid of this Soul Scar, which we know will work, unless they want to Aether Gust their own Soul Scar. Alright, so we're kind of racing our own Bitter Blossom at this point, but I mean, I like that race as long as I've got some decent threats. Like, Bloodbraid's a pretty nice thing to do into an Aether Gust. Alright, it's going to be tight. Alright, that's a good one. Can't cast that. Or, I mean, I can, but I don't want to. Do I want to just put it in my yard so if I shuffle, I'm not drawing it? Nah. Alright, that was a big miss. Something like a Goyf there would have been really good. Alright, the opponent hitting a land is good for us. Interesting. Alright, so I can Brutality first to clear an instant or sorcery from the opponent's hand and then play Scavenging Ooze. I think I want to escalate to Drain 2. Drain 2 life. The way I think I lose this game right now is if my Bitter Blossom like combines with some of the opponent's burn. So yeah, I think I'm going to escalate, drain, and take an instant or sorcery. So target opponent loses 2, I gain 2. Target opponent reveals their hand, choose an instant or sorcery. Cast. I guess I should attack first, because they may just throw it out. Like they may just fire it off. On the Bloodbraid. I doubt they do, but in the event that they do, I'm going to want to get this 3 damage in. Alright, let's 2-mode it. 2 modes. Drain 2, reveal hand, cast, target you and you. Here and here. Discard a Cling. It's just 2 Aether Gusts. Fair enough. Alright, well, I mean, I'll still play the Ooze. If they want to gust it, I'll just redraw it. Top. Alright, and they are not on Bedlam Reveler mana yet. They're 2 off. Alright, that's a good draw for me from the opponent. So I think we're in the clear. This Ooze is not only going to gain life, but also going to make sure that they keep off of Bedlam Reveler. So the Bitter Blossom bought me the time we needed, as it did last time I played it in this matchup. So eating this means the opponent will have 3, 4, 5, 6. They're still off of it. If they hit another land, they'd be able to do it, so I really need to make sure that if they draw untapped land, they can't just Reveler. I mean, it all started... 2 sideboard cards working together. That Nile Spellbomb to snipe the Bedlam Reveler from contention, and that Bitter Blossom to buy lots of time. Everything worked well together. Alright, so they're bolting Ooze. That makes sense. It's unfortunate, but it makes sense. Yep, they can't even really attack now. Alright, that was not a good one. I mean, they don't have a spell, which means this Bloodbraid gets to trade with the Stormwing. And we've got the Cling to Dust in the yard to take a spell out of their yard. That is true, Nick. Ravine can attack. Let's think about that though. So if we attack with the Ravine, it gets through almost assuredly. They'd be forced to block with the Stormwing on the Bloodbraid. They'd go to 4. I think what I want to just attack. I think I want to just attack with the Bloodbraid now. I could play Swamp first, but then if I draw a Lightning Bolt, I just clear it and I kind of get to do it all. So let's Cling, targeting their Lightning Bolt. I'll leave my creatures. I'll leave an artifact, some sorceries. There. Done. So if I draw a bolt here, it's kind of the nuts. I don't. It's okay. So I'll see if they want to block. Sure. Alright, so now hopefully Bitter Blossom can just finish them off with the Ravine. They've got 5 lands in play, 1 spell in the yard. Right, Manamorphose into Manamorphose is a way they could chain the Bedlam Reveler. If they had untapped land here, would do it as well. Alright, luckily they don't. Not out of the woods yet. Mountain, not great. So now I could activate the Ravine, attack for 4. So if I activate the Ravine, attack for 4 and with 1 fairy, that's an attack for 5, which means they go to 3, which means 3 rogues next turn flies over Bedlam Reveler. They've got 2 spells in the yard and 5 lands in play. So if they tap out for a Reveler, we just kill them. That said, I think the play now is to activate Ravine and attack with it and 1 rogue. It's going to be tight. I think I'm going to attack with this rogue too. That means that 2 rogues kills them next turn. Additionally, I'm not really planning on blocking with a rogue anyway. It's going to be close. Alright, this forces a chump. And pass. Alright, there's still a mana source off of Bedlam Reveler. And if they tap out for it, they're forced to chump. But then, so we just have to hope they don't draw, like, the nuts burn spells off of the Reveler. Not great. Alright, so I think this is the same play as last time. Alternatively, I could just attack for 3 in the air and escape a Cling to Dust. Yeah, I could just lead on Peatland and see. That's also true. Probably should. I can still activate the Ravine after a sacrifice on Peatland. In case I draw Ooze, I think I'm going to want to have green untapped, so let's just do that. Alright, well, another land doesn't help. Yeah, I think I'm activating Ravine again. Gonna be close. So if I attack like this, it is lethal and they're forced to block. Actually, an attack like this is just lethal. If I attack with 1 more fairy and they have Lava Dart, their Swift Spirit could kill me. So let's attack with this. They have to block as is. Alright, so we also have to hope that they don't somehow have a double lightning bolt. And I think 1 was used already. Yeah. Mutagenic Growth? Are they trying to like, get a Stormwing out? Or that'll get the Reveler in play. But that taps them out. Which means our fairies should just do it. I guess Lava Dart is something that has them surviving. Specifically Lava Dart. Another land. Great. Alright, so yeah, let's just Ravine again. Ravine also forces the chump again. Assuming the fairies don't just kill them. Well, the fairies do just kill them. They kill 2 and they take 1 to the Fiery Islet. So yeah, I think we just win now. With that logic, it was probably better to not attack with Ravine. Just hold up the Cling to Dust. Alright, and they do have the Lava Dart. Fortunately, that doesn't do it, because they have to pay 1 off of the Islet. Bitter Blossom. Did the thing. Oof. Bitter Blossom. Excellent. Alright, so current record. So So we need one more to qualify. At least as far as the first 10 matches goes. Alright, so I know I mentioned I was going to be recording these videos in increments of between 3 and 4 matches. That was the 4th match. So that's going to be it for this recording. I am going to continue playing, so for those watching here live, don't go anywhere. But I'm going to do a really quick wrap-up, at least as far as the recording is concerned. So, alright, so here's the list that was just played. Pretty much all of the sideboard cards came in at some point. Even the Alpine Moons against the green-white Titan player. Bitter Blossom again did a lot more work than was expected of it. Clothis, I think the times we saw it, the times we brought it in, it would have even been maybe a little bit too slow. But we didn't really have any nutty Clothis matchups like the Mirror, for example. And I still really like the split of 3 push, 3 bolt. The Cling to Dusts have felt fine. The 1 Tireless Tracker has still been good. I still like the split of 1 Kolaghan's Command, 1 Maelstrom Pulse. I've seen them just about as much as I would have liked, but just as much as I would like to. And I got flooded, I think, 2 separate games this league, but I also got mana screwed in a couple. So kind of hard to evaluate the land count there, but I mean 24 still feels fine, especially with the powerful top end that I really want to hit. But yeah, that's going to be it for this recording, and stay tuned for the future ones.